Good morning, afternoon, evening everyone. Hi, my name is Myra and welcome back to my channel. How are you guys? I hope you all doing great. And well, I'm just here spreading the good news of movies to you guys, and I hope you will like this movie review. But before we begin, as always, don't forget to click that bell button besides my subscribe button so you'll be notified if I upload something new. Now, as I am sure that I've told you in the previous movie review of Jumanji, I've watched the original one and I think it was a brilliant movie, full of adventures and insane gimmicks from the wild jungle, and I was actually happy when they decided to reboot the darn thing. Was I afraid that it'll be a flop? Sure. Thankfully, that wasn't the case with the first movie, but then they decided to do this one.
You still talking to your friends?
It's complicated.
Many a tear has to fall,
When we first got together,
but it's all
we were different people.
in the game. All in the wonderful game.
Okay, I'll try to talk about the synopsis first before I'll delve further into the movie itself. After the gang finished their adventure in Jumanji, they went back to their school life and eventually graduated. They slowly have their own life, going to college, and everything seemed fine. Except for Spencer, who seemed to be missing his old life as Dr. Bravestone because it was so much better than the real world. His feelings strengthened when he met his grandfather, Eddie, I believe, who convinced this Spencer that growing up sucks and he should really just enjoy his youth. Eddie himself has some beef with his old pal Milo and was so adamant into hating the poor guy, even though Milo is trying to reconcile. Eventually, Spencer finds his way back to the Jumanji world and his friends has to help him. Otherwise, Spencer might get stuck in the game forever. Only this time, the elders also tag along. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, stop here. I've stressed this before, just right now actually, and I stress this again. Sequels statistically sucks. I should make this my tagline since I said it so often. So, usually, my expectations for sequels are low. And to be honest, Jumanji The Next Level matches my expectations almost perfectly. Like, they rely exclusively on jokes and the brilliance of the actors while portraying their real-life characters. I'll just say this right off the bat, I love Kevin Hart so much in this movie.
I haven't looked like this since
Never. You look like this never.
I think my eyes are a different color.
All of you is a different color.
I just want to hug him and pat his head. He portrays Milo so beautifully. Even Dwayne Johnson can be compared to him while he was trying his best to be Eddie. At least this is my opinion. But both did their part greatly, even though I will always lean more into Kevin Hart. The way he talks slowly just gets me every time. Then there's also Awkwafina playing Spencer and Eddie, and she was insanely funny, like she always does. For me, the actors soars on their improvisation, and that is the main attraction of this sequel. But other than that, I mean, there's just not enough anything that can be said as a good thing, if you know what I mean. The storyline was a mess. First, they tried to talk about Spencer's worries and him being scared of losing his girlfriend. Then the issue moved or added with the feud between Eddie and Milo. Then we figured out that Milo is also sick and probably won't live long enough. Seems like there's two main storylines, which is Spencer and Eddie, and they just move side by side and try to touch one another, but the conclusion it wasn't good at all. I can forgive the predictable outcome, but the way the story was told, it was just not satisfying for me. Yet, I feel that's how this movie moves in its entirety. as a flick that should be enjoyed for the jokes and the action, rather than being seen for having a solid and complete storyline. I mean, other than the jokes and great improvisation, there are also a lot of good action scenes involved. Like the part with the killer ostrich, I had a good laugh on that one.
You are a terrible driver.
What are you talking about? I just passed my driver's test last month again.
We're not going to make it.
We're gonna make it.
I don't think we're going to make it.
We're gonna make it. We're not gonna make it.
Then there's also the mandrills or the baboons, which was kinda scary but somehow very gripping. I was very impressed by that scene, even though I feel that the geometry part was a bit forced. But then again, as I said, just enjoy it as a fun movie and not anything else besides that. And speaking of Jumanji as a whole, I remember thinking that I thought the writers were lazy. Because before, Jumanji is this interesting board game, and the implementation of that board game just out of this world. It is what makes Jumanji interesting. And then they just switched the darn thing to a video game? Like, how did the magic work? I would love to see the justification behind that, should anyone is interested or trying to make a fanfic out of it. But thankfully, they put in a lot of RPG aspects into the movie, which I find familiar since I do play RPG in my younger days.
What the hell is this?
It's your strengths and weaknesses.
Smoldering intensity?
It's a stupid face you make.
Huh?
What's going on? You having a heart attack? Breathe. Breathe. His whole left side is shutting down.
So I guess I forgive the creators for the lack of justification since they made this video game version so clearly. And I was grateful that I saw the glitching part of the game, even though it was forced a bit, which was the lightningy water that could change their characters, right? But still, wouldn't it be cool to have the original story of Jumanji, origin story, not original story. I mean, how the game suddenly appears and constantly wrecking the lives of people who wanted adventure. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. So, same as always, should you watch this movie? It really depends on your expectations. If you expect some kind of complicated, grand, adventure sort of movie like Indiana Jones or something else like that, then this movie is not for you. But it is a family flick full of improvs, jokes, great action that shouldn't be taken too seriously and just to be enjoyed instead. You will have a good laugh. That much is certain. And that is it. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this movie review, and if you do, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They are in my description below. Thank you again so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for waiting for my videos. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time.